Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be starting a new challenge island, so let's talk about it. Now I asked my community what type of challenge would you like to see, and over 50% said they wanted an only challenge. So today I'm going to be starting a DIY only island, but also with a few extra challenges to go along with it. So as for the DIYs only, here are the rules. Decorate the whole island using only DIYs, and this also includes the inside of my house. However, when it comes to certain DIYs, I am allowed to buy items such as books, magazines or boxes, but only to use for making DIYs. I am not allowed to use them to decorate as an item on their own. I have to craft all of my own tools, and unless it is a non-native fruit, all gifts to villagers must also be DIY items. But on top of that, I have also given myself a few other obligations, I suppose you could call them, and these have been inspired by Caitos' 365-day challenge. I have been struggling with this game for a long time now, and I think it's because it's become all about the decorating and not so much about the playing, and I'm feeling a little bit burnt out. So I want to do just that. I want to play the game. Now, I'm not going to be doing the entire 365-day challenge, but I am going to be doing a few bits of it. I want to catch all of the bugs and fish in the game. This is something that I have never done before. And of course, once I have done that, I will get the DIYs for the golden net and the rod. So I'm also going to try and get all of the golden tools. I also figure, seeing as I'm going to be getting all of the bugs and fish, I may as well finish the museum. So I also need to catch all of the sea creatures and collect all of the art and fossils. I also want to complete the following Nook Mile achievements: rough-hewn, cast master, and go ahead be shellfish. I need to get photos of my first 10 villages, and I also want to completely pay off my house and get the storage shed. And I also want to try and breed every flower in the game. Yet another thing that I have never done before. And lastly, just for fun, I will wear any item of clothing that my villagers give me. I have done this before, and I can tell you now that it certainly makes for some interesting outfits. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's go and choose an island. So I have the game set to January 1st because I wanted to give myself plenty of time to catch all of the creatures. I'm not going to be giving myself a time limit for getting this done, however I don't want to have to keep going backwards to try and look for fish and bugs. Now, finding my map took way longer than I thought it would, so we're just going to skip through most of it. But I mean, seriously, look at these choices. I do not want, nor do I need, to have resident services so close to the airport.
Many hours later.
Anyway, finally I have found my map. I have actually had this map before, and I'm fairly certain that I've seen it at least once, maybe even twice today before picking it. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, off I went to start my new adventure. I got oranges and my villagers were fuchsia and rolled. I've never had rolled before, but fuchsia was one of the starters on my very first island, and oranges were my native fruit, so I guess it was meant to be. I placed the tents and then I went to gather the sticks and the fruit for Tom. Then it was time for the one thing that I am almost always never prepared for: naming the island. I was literally on this screen for hours, mainly because I had to go pick up the kids from school and be an adult for a while, but also because I just couldn't think of anything. I ended up having to use a name generator, and I found the name Thistle, which I actually really like. And of course, as usual, everyone loved my idea and Tom made me the island representative. Then, before I went to bed for the night, I ran around and picked all of my weeds ready to sell the next day. Now, when I went to go to bed for the night, I totally forgot about the whole DIY only situation. I obviously had to use my cot, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to progress. But I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of excited about getting the pink radio. I do eventually get rid of it because I obviously can't use it. I seen Tom and I got my phone and my bill and then got stuck straight into earning Nook miles so that I could pay my moving fees. It doesn't normally take me very long, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So just in case you're new to this or you struggle with this area, these are all of the things that I do to earn my 5k. First, I put my phone to good use and I take a photo, create a custom design, and edit my passport. I access my Nook phone 10 times, write on the billboard, place an item outside 10 times. Once again, I forgot about the whole DIYs only. My bad. I grabbed 20 pieces of fruit to sell and then seen Tom to do the DIY workshop. Once I have done that, I can buy more DIYs, which will then unlock more Nook Mile achievements. I see Timmy and I sell my weeds and fruit. I did buy some flowers, although I'm not going to be planting them just yet because I do want to have an area set up where I can keep everything organised. I bought some DIYs and then I broke another rule. I bought a slingshot instead of making one. I don't know, I keep forgetting that I'm doing a challenge. I don't know what is wrong with me. I logged on to the ABD for my 50 miles and then it was time to see exactly how many I was up to. And I was 150 short. I went around and caught a few bugs and shook my trees and got another 300 Nook miles. I seen Tom to pay off my moving fees and I upgraded to a house. I gave him what creatures I had and then made some axes before going and placing the museum. After making some tools, it was time to go and catch creatures for Blathers. I wanted to have the 15 that he needed ready to go when he got here, and also, you know, I am supposed to be trying to catch them all anyway. Luckily, there are only a few creatures leaving at the end of the month, however, I do need to keep track of what I've caught and what I haven't. I have heard that the ACNH travel guide is really good, but it's $5.99 and I'm cheap. Once I had them ready for Blathers, I went around and started to collect building materials. Normally I only spend maybe a week or two at the start of an island collecting materials on the daily, and I end up buying all of my tools, but not this time. So I feel like this is going to get real old real quick. After I finished that, I went to go and dump everything in my tent and I was like, hang on a minute, I'm not supposed to have actual items. And then it finally dawned on me, so I got them all and went and sold them to Timmy. Now, I didn't really have much else to do for that in-game day, so I just potted around for a bit, catching bugs and fish, making tools and making bells. So it is now day 2 on Thistle, the airport is open and Blathers is here. I got some mail, a DIY, handy, and my mum sent me some fruit, my favourite, apples. I went and got my daily DIY, firewood, which is a good one, I really like it. I seen Blathers and I got the DIYs for the shovel and the vaulting pole and then headed to resident services to craft them. I seen Timmy to trigger the shop story and then I ran into Rold, who was really nice and gave me some iron. I planted my first money tree and Fuchsia gave me a shovel. I have the best villagers. I started a pile of bugs for when Flick visits and then went to see Blathers to give him his 15 creatures. And it was as boring as you can imagine. I needed to get some iron for the shop, so I hit my rocks and then headed to the airport to use my free Nook Mile ticket. Eunice was on the island and I think she's pretty cute, so I invited her to move to Thistle. I gathered some building materials, then headed home. By now I had everything that I needed, so I got the plot for Nook's Cranny and I placed it on the beach, and then I put on this shirt that Timmy gave me. Gorgeous. I went around and shook my trees and spent a bit of time catching bugs, and then went around and collected some more building materials. I didn't really have much else to do, so I just ran around the island doing bits and pieces to make bells and earn Nook miles. I also stood in my house for half an hour doing nothing because I literally fell asleep on the couch. Anyway, after running past him about 6 times, I finally went to help Gulliver because I just kept forgetting about him. However, while I was talking to him, the ultimate bug flew past me, the banded dragonfly. And I was not going to let it get away.
Run.
Once I had caught that and I had dealt with Gulliver, I decided to call it quits for the day. Now, I think I have made a pretty good start, and honestly, I can't wait to get on with the rest of this challenge. I think it's going to be about 50% decorating and 50% actually playing the game, so it should be a lot of fun. Be sure to join me for the next episode where we might go and find some more villagers to live on the island. I would really love to give you a clue on who it's going to be, but I haven't actually recorded that part yet, so you're just going to have to wait for the next episode to find out. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!